Hello, this is Jeff Malone, the X is Silent, here with a review of the May 18th, 2013 episode of Saturday Night Live, the season 38 finale, hosted by Ben Affleck with musical guest Kanye West. The excellent from this episode was, of course, the wedding of the century. Bill Hader's last episode was this one. Ending his 8-year run. So, of course, he brings out one final appearance of the most popular recurring character of the past 5 years, city correspondent Stefan, and Seth Meyers chases after him in homage to The Graduate, the wedding scene, of course, at the end of that movie. And that wedding had everything. If you can identify all the attendees at that wedding, please help me out, because I gotta go through every past Stefan clip to figure out who all of them were. I've put my finger on about 80% of them, but it's fewer tricky. And thank God to whoever remembered that Stefan's first ever appearance was actually not on a Weekend Update segment, but a sketch where he and Ben Affleck were playing brothers, pitching a movie to a couple of executives. So it was very nice that Ben reprised his role as Stefan's brother. As for the good, well, let's first mention the Ian Rubbish and the Bizarros performance, which I think effectively served as the farewell moment for someone else who was leaving after 11 seasons. Fred Armisen. It hasn't been officially confirmed yet that he will be leaving, but all indications seem to be that this was his last show. Perfectly Fred way to end his run on the show. So that was nice and kind of unexpected. As for the rest of the good from this episode, we had the Politics Nation cold opening. I didn't exactly agree with Keenan as Al Sharpton's been getting all crazy, like what is this here? A man named Dana, because although more women aren't named Dana than are men, it still sounds. I can accept that, but it is funny to hear someone getting all in a huff about it. Let's see. Then the HBO first look at the Mahmoud Ahmadinejad movie, Bengo Fuck Yourself. That's pretty good. Seth was had one of his best performances on Update this season. Well, really, Seth and Amy had the best performance on Update this season. It felt like how it was when they were together. Back before, I was like, Seth, it's not working out so much with you by yourself. The jokes weren't that great. They were just delivered well. When they were cheesy, they treated them as such. Like when Seth was like, now David Beckham's retiring, so he's going to spend all of his time at home bending it. And then you hear Amy clapping, and that was great. And another good joke was when the chef who was the one who's using cicadas in his recipes, and when asked about it, he said, "I'm trying to get fired." That was one from Amy, and then she made a face and was like, "Oh, all right, that's pretty good." And they also did a really routine. Those are reliable for some good laughs. Wasn't my favorite one, because I don't think this is as much of a scandal. The IRS targeting the Tea Party and whatnot. At least it's not as much of a scandal as some people are making it out to be. But anyway, really is a reliable segment. Okay, then we had a Greg Polino's funeral. Some guy Some jerk attending his own funeral. Great concept, solid right there. I liked Cecily Strong as the neighbor, explaining how he didn't steal from her, he stole from her dog. He ate the dog's food right out of its bowl. Hermes handbags, the ex porn stars who had previously been shilling for Swarovski and then Moe Chandon, now they moved on to Hermes handbags. And I think the best story was most definitely the one whose name we don't know, saying how she got banged through a glass ceiling. Turns out she's a feminist. Yeah, so that was it for the good. The mediocre, the monologue, was kind of haphazard. This and this, and the five-timers joke to start off, and then he addresses some business with his wife Jennifer Garner, and was like, whatever. The Xanax commercial, it was alright. And then the New York 1933 Depression era scene seemed to be the sort of thing that was just filling time. The New Beginning sketch felt like a missed opportunity. And the engagement party sketch was also felt like a time filler sketch, but unlike it was a little better than the New York 1933 sketch. Just the funny moments landed a little better. Nothing bad, nothing really too bad. And then Kanye. As for Kanye, all I have to say is his new album is called Yeezus. So, just keep that in mind in light of how his performances went. Overall, I give this episode a grade of enough on a scale of emotional satisfaction, which is what it needed to have to be in the last episode of at least 2 major cast members, and possibly a third. Possibly even more than that. We know Bill's leaving. 99% likely it's looking like Fred's leaving. Jason might very well be leaving. I think Keenan will stay on. That's what it's looking like. At least for another year. It's gonna be his 10th season, or is it gonna be his 11th? Let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be his 11th. This was his 10th season. Oh my god. Boy. Is that right? 2003. Yeah, this was his 10th season. Oh boy. Anyway, yeah. So he's in the decade plus cast members, and it seems it's apparently the plan is for Seth to stay on for like half a season before he then moves on as the host of Late Night. So as for the episode itself, beyond just being a goodbye to some great cast members, but then was also a season finale, and people like those to be fun and explosive. It doesn't have to be, as long as it just treat it like any other show, and it felt like any other show really had its great moments. It was better than most because it didn't really have any terrible moments, but it could have had some more great moments to really work. Ben Affleck is a nice host, and it would have been nice if he had if his five-timerliness had been more celebrated, but at least it wasn't ignored. So yeah, good enough episode. So I got overall season analysis in the pipeline. Keep a lookout for that. I'll be posting that on my blog, jmunney.wordpress.com. Also, if keep an eye out on my Twitter if you like, at jmoneymalone. And I'll see you in the fall for season 39. And